Hello everybody, welcome back to Goshen Prepping as we try to get back into our normal life. I'm going to use those air quotes very carefully here. Our normal life of back here in Michigan after our trip. And going from that transition from being out in the wild, in the wilderness, and tent camping in the rain and living out there, almost like living out our van, think of it that way, to now having the modern luxury of our house and our television and computer and our coffee pot. Well, we took a coffee pot with us, but having our really nice espresso machine here in Michigan, there's certain things that it makes you sad when you return back to normal life. But on the same note too, we need to have our eyes open. And I hope this video will really resound with you in understanding that this world we live in right now we have some serious problems. And I don't necessarily mean the news, even though I know you know that in the news we have some problems. So stick through this video and hear me out. Everything we have, all these modern luxuries, and I don't think most of us would trade in our modern luxuries for living back in like the year 1800, even though it was a much slower and simpler, back to nature, back to normal stuff life back then. And today's modern conveniences, we love them. And I know there's people out there right now who are homesteaders, maybe live off grid, and they don't necessarily love them. And I think you'll probably relate with what I'm talking about in this video. All these things that we have, including our espresso machine, your TV and Netflix, a computer, having a thermostat on your wall for your furnace, having a very well-sound home that keeps the heat out or keeps the cold out and makes you as comfortable as possible, having a vehicle where all you have to do is press the button, press a little tiny gas pedal, and it takes this 1 ton or if not more vehicle to wherever you want to go. We have luxuries everywhere, even though we think they're commonplace now. And I truly believe that, necessity is the mother of invention. People didn't say, hey, let's go ahead and create this world where it's completely fake and living in a lap of luxury to trap people. But regardless, that's what's happened. We went from having a rough life, not you and me perhaps, but the world for thousands of years has lived in very difficult, rough times. And we've only had these modern luxuries for, let's say 100 years, maybe a little bit more. And it's a trap. That's what I'm put it. So I don't necessarily think, put it in the comments below if you disagree, I don't think that our government, the elites, etc., purposely made this trap to trap us, but nevertheless, it's there. This trap puts us into a comfort zone that we don't want to step out of. I go through this time and time again in my dojo. And I'm not talking like I'm different. I was seriously overweight. And I looked at my kids and I said, I want to be there as long as I can for them. And it wasn't just a matter of me trying to feel more healthy, but I took that step, a few steps, through pain and tears, even broken bones, literally, trying to get my life back on track again in losing weight, having more energy, being more flexible, and even just getting on the floor and sitting with my kids and playing with them. It was difficult. The hardest step in that journey is the first step. Constantly, I have people who contact me in my dojo and say, they're like my age, I want to get back to that youth again. I want to get young again. And in their mind, they know that they can do it, but taking that first step is tough. I'm like, I try to make it so easy on them. Look, come in, just give it a try for free. You don't have to pay anything. Just get in here. My dojo is not there to make money. It's there so I can train, my family can train, my friends can train. And it's all about getting back into that life that we don't have anymore. And they'll cycle after cycle, every time we have a new cycle start, I'm going to come in, and they don't show up. Taking that first step is so difficult, and maybe you are going through that right now. Physically fit, maybe just not sitting in your chair so often or watching TV as much or being complacent in your home. And obviously I've made a lot of videos about complacency. We as humans love complacency. It's just now we've hit a time in our lives, as far as the world lives, where we can be complacent. You can sit down at your home, turn on the TV, occasionally get up and go to the bathroom to get a shower, but besides that, you never have to leave your home ever again. Have all the food delivered to your home that you ever need. Literally, everything's delivered now. They don't even want you in the grocery stores anymore because that requires, somebody to be there to work that job. And everything we see with this technology makes us more and more and more complacent. And it's not even just complacency relaxing, but complacent for your mind. We don't have to think about anything anymore to try to figure stuff out. In fact, they estimate by 2030, half the jobs are going to be lost because of AI. Why would I pay an accountant to handle all my books for my dojo, for example? I mean, I do it myself. I enjoy that kind of stuff. But why do I pay an accountant when I can just type in ChatGPT and it does it for free? That's what we're heading toward. We have complacency of the mind. We watch television to no end or play video games for some people, and it takes away your intuitive thought. So Goshen prepping is about preparedness for what might come. But this is something that is coming. It's something that's here. And this is probably one of the more important videos, because when it comes to complacency, we love to get in that rut. And once you get in that rut, it takes like a lot to get back out of it. We don't want to. And that's the trap that we're set in. We're in a trap where we don't want to go tent camping where it rains on us. We went tent camping in Yellowstone, and literally we had person after person after person saying, "You're crazy. You're crazy because of the temperatures. You're crazy because of the rain. You're crazy because of bears." And we saw bears. We saw a grizzly bear. It happens. But you take precautions and you do what you need to. Don't take away the whole experience of tent camping in the rain because you might see a bear. You take precautions and you prepare. But I would take a rainy tent with my family any day over sitting in a chair, watching TV all day, and just letting life pass you by. Because Goshen prepping is about preparedness, but it's also carpe diem. It is about making the most of today so you have an incredible tomorrow. That's the point. It's not about fear. It's not about all these disasters. It's about preparing now so we can actually, ready for this, live our life. That's the key. So I challenge you. I really do take this channel as being sometimes a little platform to challenge you. I want to be your motivator. Again, I was super, super, super heavy overweight, and now literally I'm a world champion in martial arts. I never thought it would happen. I'll say it again. My feet were going numb. I had MS. I would collapse on the floor. I had seizures. I have epilepsy. I still do, but I don't let that stuff stop me. And because of that, I trained and trained and trained, and I went from that super obese person who literally could barely walk to owning a dojo, being a world champion, and being an inspiration for my students, and I hope to be an inspiration for you. Because life is so much bigger than Netflix. It's so much bigger than sitting around your house, sitting in your chair. I know it's comfy. And listen, even for myself, even though I'm in amazing shape compared to where I used to be, I still need to lose some weight and get it in better shape. I always do. Even with my family, we're like, "Hey guys, let's go for a hike today." Oh, that little tiny voice inside you says, "That sounds like fun," but sitting around at home sounds a lot more fun. Instead, let's have a cup of coffee and just sit around and watch TV. Don't let that inner voice control you. You control that inner voice. So, what does this have to do with prepping and preparedness? I always talk about how we need to train and drill and prepare, etc. We need to do this all the time. We can't simply just watch a YouTube video, even my video, and say, "Okay, I'm good now." No, you need to practice with this. Because here's the thing. I do believe something's coming. I do believe something big is coming. I do not believe 100% that our society is sustainable as it is. Our economy is sustainable. And it's funny, those same ChatGPT's AIs are predicting that in the next 10 or 20 years, there's going to be a major collapse in our economy. Not to mention, if you look at some other channels, when you look at the catastrophic sequences where Earth always has like certain destruction over so many thousands of years, we're due for one of those too. We're due for a coronal mass ejection that's going to be enough to collapse our society. So I want you to think about this. You have two choices. You ready for this? This is what the video comes down to. You have a choice now, right now, today. Get outside. Go for a walk. Go camping. Practice with your gear. Have fun. Be outside. You're going to enjoy it. It's getting back to life again. You either do it now, or when one of these things does happen, you'll have no choice but to do it. And you're going to be slammed into that scenario. We see disasters all the time. They're literally thrust out of their comfort Netflix zone into a disaster situation where they're living in a tent. Either practice it now, make that transition easier for someday when it comes. At the very least, you're having fun hanging out with your family and being outside. This is where we're meant to be. Or continue with your deception and think that life it is right now, having your coffee and watching TV is the way it's supposed to be. It's not. It's a deception. And when that disaster does happen, you'll be thrust into it, and it's going to be a heck of a lot worse to adapt at that time. So you have a choice. You make your choice now and decide what you want to do. I want to inspire you and tell you to get outside, Get with your family, get with your community, and just enjoy life outdoors. And nothing ever happens, that's great, because now you just enjoyed the rest of your life the way it's supposed to be done. I hope this inspired you. Hope this helped you out. If so, give me a thumbs up, a like on the video, and I would love to hear your comments too, as far as your view on this as well. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I am here for you. We'll see you next time.